And welcome back, everybody, to the No Shots Fired podcast, episode 44, Read Satellite Dish. I am the one, the only host here, Val, and everybody else is just a series of cameras I've set up randomly in people's rooms to spy on them. So,
you know, you'd buy that from a couple of the angles we've got going here.
Yeah.
Right? Well, that's the thing that immediately came to my head based on the quality of the angles. I want to, first of all, before we get into the topics for this evening's show, welcome back Raj, who we haven't seen in literally, what, 2 years?
Many a moon since...
It's Rog.
Man!
This whole time.
But it's good to have you back.
And just for you then, tonight we're going to be talking about Acme Folktales, Doki Doki Literature Club, Rimworld, get a D&D update. The topic du jour is... I'm going to need to stop saying du jour for, like, the topic of...
Topic of the day.
I think you should say du jour for everything.
Topic
Okay.
a la mode.
The du jour is enjoyable bad game. What game did you enjoy but was also bad? I think...
I think it's like more one that was like maybe popularly thought of as not great, but you still enjoyed. Like not one that you're like, oh, this is crap, but I keep playing it. It's one maybe you thought was good, but you were bucking the general consensus.
Can we
StarCraft.
also...
Just gonna keep saying StarCraft.
And finally, if he's still around, we're going to be taking Raj's questions this evening. So, without further ado, I don't know what Acme Folktale is.
All right, real
so
quick.
Why?
Just I'm gonna step on the old soapbox here. These fucking battle royale games need to come up with names that aren't absolute garbage. Okay?
Are you
Just-
referring to Apex?
Yes, thank you. Apex Legends. My delicious wordplay
Why?
on those two. So anyway,
Why
'cause
is
we
that a
started-
garbage game?
no, the name is garbage. I can get into why the game might be garbage too. But we started with Player Unknown's Battlegrounds, which is just the
Great
dumbest
Great name.
thing.
Pretty bad name, I agree.
Then like Fortnite, which is nothing. That's nothing.
They
So
spelled
it's a-
night wrong.
Yeah,
too,
that's a
right?
span of time, you jack wagons. And now we've got Apex Legends. I'm just like, what? Why?
Well, yeah, but they also spelled night wrong, right? You need to point that out. That's important.
You already did. We got that. We're good.
I didn't hear you agree with me though.
Isn't it Fort Fight?
Yes, I believe we need to keep that train going
I
from
thought
Pro
it was
ZD.
Fork Knife.
Fork Knife, both.
Any
Fork
of these are better. And then
Better.
game that's taking the internet by storm, Apex Legends. It's just like, what? Come on, guys. Just an ounce of thought is all I'm asking for.
Well,
But-
I think there's one that I actually have to add to the list of not very creative, which is called Paladins.
Is
Yeah.
that also
Is it a
one of those
battle?
games?
Is it a battle royale game?
Based on what I know, yes.
All right. Also bad. So I will give my sword to the first battle royale game that comes up with a name that's not just trash.
What would be a good name?
I'm not a game developer. That's not my job. I can just tell you what's bad.
I like the idea of let's do a battle royale game names.
There you go.
Right? I would put my money on Paladins. I think is actually the best of everything.
All right, here, just spitballing real quick. Looking at the old shelf. Blood Doom. There.
Blood Doom.
Blood
That is.
Doom.
I feel like that's an entirely believable battle royale game name based on
Blood Doom.
our previous
that.
entries here.
That's the best one of all the lot, I think.
But Val and you and I have played some Apex Legends. You a little more than me. What are your thoughts?
Sorry, there may be random screams because I'm playing.
Tommy Cube, you have 2 minutes to get off fucking StarCraft.
Can't happen. It's not his fault. It's an addiction.
Yes. I need help. Okay, this is a
Over
cry
here.
for help.
Blaming him.
Okay.
So, for the uninitiated, Apex Legends is a battle royale game, and their twist is that you have 8 different champions to choose from, each with their own little abilities.
I believe from the developers who made the Titanfall games.
You are correct.
So-
and some other stuff that I can't remember.
Oh, I hate... Titanfall was a huge failure, wasn't it?
The games were good, but they never took off.
Okay.
Is how I
Oh
would
my
describe
god!
it. Okay.
this is
All right.
a
Hang on.
disaster.
Okay.
Hang on. Real quick.
Well,
We're just gonna.
Really, it's not
Sorry.
that loud on stream, though.
Yeah, that's great. Just gonna give him a couple minutes.
Oh, we don't get to see the break screen all the time.
Well, yeah, there you go. Okay.
Break.
All right, we're back.
Break.
So, I like that it's free. I would say it's better than Fortnite, and I imagine people are gonna get tired of it in about a month, but I don't know. It's definitely interesting what they try to do with the different abilities to differentiate the characters you can choose. But also, I'm kind of with Raj on this, and he says it's not that bad, but I'm just tired of constant battle royales coming out, and that's basically where I am.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed playing it, but I think a large part of that is that it's free for one, and two, the unique twist.
I will say that those abilities you're talking about, like having something you can kind of choose instead of just hopping out of whatever fucking airborne whatever
Right.
they put in there, is a good thing. I think. I don't get it. These games, I don't like. I want a gun to start. Just give me a gun. Okay, like you can scatter whatever else throughout the map, like ammo and whatever the hell, but just give me like a pistol at least. Like, is that unreasonable?
I don't exactly. I mean, obviously, the whole battle royale genre touches some sort of common thread among people, or else it wouldn't be literally like every game right now.
I think just
I can
people are
almost-
idiots. Cheap idiots.
That could be it. I mean, but
But,
that's the case.
but like so many of these things where you're like we're trying to like land in a spot. As soon as we see anyone else go into that spot, if you don't like stumble on a gun, you're boned. Like,
right.
so I don't know why they just don't give you a pistol so you can have that duel if you want, but you're not automatically just screwed. Also, let me land where I want to land if you're going to let us, set a waypoint there. That's all I'm saying.
I would speculate that the driving force behind popularity of these games, keep in mind, like PUBG, which still has a lot of users and a big user base, you had to pay for it. But I would speculate that the driving force is actually a lot of that's what I would think, don't like about a game, which is just the ongoing tension and not knowing whether or not you're going to find weapons if you go into a hotter spot, and then once the game goes on, whether or not there's actually going to be any conflict. Which I would.
Yeah, that does kind of touch on the other thing. Is like I would honestly just prefer I just choose a loadout and I could get like upgrades or something. Like, because
Right.
I just like the idea that we loot around for 20 minutes, maybe find some good stuff, and then you're running around and just like all of a sudden you get rolled up on by people who happen to go to the purple area, and you're just it's done, it's over, and I've just wasted 25 minutes of my life. And
Well, I only enjoy games that waste 25 minutes or more of my life.
Right. I think I'm like the middle between J Money and Doc because J Money and I have had a lot of fun in PUBG doing things that I think everybody else in this group find to be miserable.
True.
I mean, we'll wait 5-10 minutes at a spot in trucks just
5 or
possibly
10 minutes. Much longer than that.
longer than that in trucks in one spot. People to maybe come near us so that we can maybe run. So I think it might just be a matter of.
well, I wanted to do that on the satellite dish, but we weren't allowed to do that because apparently that wasn't part of the play field.
And also, for those of you unaware with Apex Legends, there is a satellite dish. You know, guys, I think I do like the name because what if these legends aren't at the top of the legend mountain?
But that's
so
the thing, they aren't, because there's like 80 of them.
Right, but we're gonna see who's at the apex of the legends. once the battle's done.
Tip-top people. I prefer tip-top people. There you go. They're at the tippy top.
Is Junkblade, are you there?
Yes,
I am.
Am I still muted?
No, you're not muted anymore.
Alright,
Oh,
everybody's
okay.
back in the game.
But anyway,
I've never.
It's not that I have anything important to say. Just
No,
curious.
I'm in for it. I will.
but
Yeah, I have nothing
think-
to contribute to the discussion of Battle Royale games because I've never even played one myself, and I don't plan to because the entire experience sounds absolutely miserable to me.
And that is what I wanted to hear from you, Junkblade, and Tommy Tom has played PUBG once or twice and disliked it as much as
It is the biggest single regret I have in my life. Having played it.
the shooting in that game.
I believe I played it twice, I think.
At least twice.
I will say the movement and like traversal in Apex is like a lot more fun. Like the speed at which you can move and stuff, I think is a positive. So I think I'll give it a little more of a shot. But
Okay.
just let me pick a gun. I don't know.
Positivity bot. Slow
But-
cool.
Speaking of getting a
Commander
gun,
Root.
we're moving to Doki Doki Literature Club, which I believe a Junkblade has been perusing.
Yes, I have. Doc, do you care about spoilers?
Now, real quick, I assume this is the sequel to Yumi Kojo Doki Doki Panic, correct? Is that am I right on that?
I have no idea what the thing you just mentioned is.
That's the Japanese precursor of Super Mario Brothers 2.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, and the answer to that is a hell no.
Okay, bummer. I'm bummed out now.
So before I go into detail, do you mind about spoilers? Because
No.
okay, good. So this was something that was suggested to me by several of my friends. It is a dating simulator. However, it's also very clearly intended to be like a horror story. The idea is on your first playthrough of the game, you end up pursuing any of the four main girls like a dating simulator would. And then the game just starts glitching. And you find out that one of the four is like dangerously obsessed with your character and somehow has access to the game's code and starts screwing around with it. And that is why I've actually been somewhat engrossed in this game, because it does something very interesting with the concept as opposed to literally just another a dating simulator. Or a dating simulator with some sort of weird gimmick.
Hey, hey, careful, careful!
You know exactly what I'm referring to.
Don't you
Doc.
dare insult Oko-san and the pursuit of the pudding. I won't hear it.
What?
Explain that one to Thomas.
Yeah.
We can
Yeah,
talk
you might
about
have to.
Hatful Boyfriend later, Thomas.
But according to my friends, I'm about halfway through the game, and it's gotten to the point where just weird shit keeps happening, and it's
Okay.
just hard to describe. One thing that I think is really cool, like, one of the characters, which is like a friend of yours from childhood, at the end of your first run-through, the character who has control of the game's code literally deletes her from the game. I am literally looking in the characters file right now, and she is not there anymore.
Ah.
And then as you go through the game file, like the folder, things keep getting added to it. Like, there's a really creepy picture and 2 text files that weren't there at the beginning of the game.
Well, timeout. So, do you stop playing the game and actually go look in the game files?
No, I just have the thing open at the same time, because what I did one time was stop playing the game and go look at it again, because I don't have the shortcut actually taken out of the game file. I just open up the folder, and then I noticed, hey, this wasn't here before, and it's called Can You Hear Me? .txt.
I do like that. That's some interesting stuff. Because people, this was a fairly well talked about game in the at least things I read last year, I think. But they didn't get into specifics. This is actually more interesting than I thought it would be.
This game is also free to play, or you can pay for it up to whatever value you choose, which is a thing that I really like that the developer did.
Okay.
Well, I do like when people do that, but I would like to know. Right, I would wonder how effective that is. I wonder how much money they've made, for instance, as opposed to if they had just charged $5.
Yeah, I'm curious myself, but
is that something? Can you like go back and pay after?
Yeah, I can go back and pay. Which I will end up doing, because
I wonder if
I am genuinely satisfied with my gaming experience with this game.
So because like this is a niche kind of title, right? So like doing this it probably gets it into a lot more hands. And even if only a small percentage pay for that, you're probably going to get more, coverage and stuff with that level of availability.
Yeah.
Well, the other nice thing is that with a game like this, a dating simulator, most of the effort is going to be in the coding and some of the art. Beyond that, you don't have to pay for like graphics or much of anything to the degree that even a game like Shovel Knight would have to. So, I do think that in general it would have been cheaper to produce in the first place, to the point where they could afford to do this. And I think it was sort of the same. It's just the concept of it's more important that people are actually playing the game than that you make a ton of money off of it.
Well, yes.
That's the philosophy. I don't mean that that's necessarily true.
I would highly doubt that's even their philosophy. I would doubt.
So
in order to even do something like this and have the luxury of the time to do something like this, you got to be eating somehow. And I would bet this is more of a marketing thing.
It's more of a long-term ploy, I think, right? To give it. Because I bet over a certain amount of time, you probably end up making more money. Like, I think, so like Rocket League was one that I think really took off when it was a free game on PS Plus. Like, that's when I first started playing. That's when I really noticed it kind of explode in terms of numbers, and then now that game's still going and, made a ton of money.
Right.
This isn't necessarily the same thing, but that is like a kind of a giveaway thing to get more, to get publicity around it.
Yes.
But I'd be interested to see what kind of, you're never going to see that, but
sure,
those numbers would be interesting.
Yeah, you're never going to see the numbers because, as Doc and I have talked about, like, video game sales not only aren't as documented as, like, movie sales, something like this is...
Oh yeah, it's very opaque.
Yeah.
It would have, whoever created it would literally just have to tell you, so...
Okay.
I was just going to mention real quick, based on what I saw here, paying $10 or more unlocks a bonus fan pack that includes desktop and mobile wallpapers, the game's official soundtrack, and a digital concept art booklet. Which is not actually a bad deal.
Oh, that's some good tidbits.
Yeah. Like, $10 for a music album alone is generally a good deal.
Yeah.
Raj liked it, so.
I said that sounds much cooler than I thought. I mean, I guess I should have figured there was something else to it with how much it got talked about, but that's cool.
But yeah, I am about halfway through, according to my friends, and I will keep you guys updated next time when I hopefully will have finished it.
You should throw that on stream a little bit, I think. I've watched a little bit of that.
Fair.
J Money, what say you in the camera there? Laying down on the job, typical.
How about this idea? Okay, it's a battle royale game, but you're fighting to win the heart of a girl who's pure and true. So it's like a dating sim battle royale, or vice versa. You think it's a dating sim, but it turns out it's a... I'll have to workshop this, but I think there's something here. Who's feeling this? Who's feeling me on this? No? Nobody?
I am not.
Nope. Nope. Doc?
I'm muted.
I kind of spaced out a bit there. The pitch needs tightening up, I think, a little bit.
I was talking for like 15 seconds.
I know.
No,
That's...
I liked where you were going. You said it's a dating
Raj likes it.
Except you find out that it's a pyramid scheme seminar. Or someone's trying to get you to buy timeshares. It's all one big ad.
What's the name? What name have you got?
Legendary, unknown, Apex.
Okay. Feel like
Club.
you might run into some issues on that one.
Club, yes.
Gonna run into a couple issues on that one, I bet.
Love Incorporated.
Love Incorporated is the name.
AC Doocy colon hang 'em high.
Legends of Never.
Legends of
Eviscerating.
Love Incorporated.
Love is a battlefield.
Love is a bit. All of these are actually.
And Q, Love is a Battlefield. Love is
man.
a Battlefield. That's a good song, man.
Right?
I'm throwing
Right?
that up.
J Money, hit him with a Rimworld update.
So, Rimworld has multiplayer. Back to you, Dave. For Donald.
Fantastic.
That was even shorter than I wanted to make it.
Yeah.
Well done.
All right, to the D&D update, I guess.
Okay, so we continued a bit in my campaign, and then we switched to the Lord of the Rings campaign. So in my campaign, the players did a few more side questy things.
You can update us, like, who they are and what their overarching goal is and stuff, because I don't remember. I can't... Off the top of my head, I don't remember Cannibal Campaign from...
The Cannibal campaign's done, right? That's no longer happening?
For the foreseeable future. This is the campaign with the Dwarf, Samurai, Gnoll, Necromancer, Half-Dragon Paladin. We've got a Werewolf Ranger who is attending consistently now, and a Lizard Folk Samurai as well.
Is this the Japanese one?
No, this is not the Japanese one. This is my campaign.
But you just said, like, 6 samurai.
I said 2 samurai, and
28 samurai were in there.
Is Samurai a class?
Yes, it is.
Really?
In what?
There's... Well, first off, this campaign is a mix of D&D 3.5 and Pathfinder. It's a class in both of them, but it's more a class in Pathfinder. In 3.5, you actually have to go to the Oriental Adventures book to get the Samurai class. Otherwise, it's just a variant of Fighter.
Sure. Okay.
But anyway, the Dwarven Samurai's long-term goal is to become a Dwarf Lord. which there's a couple of different things he has to do to qualify as one of those because of the way Dwarven society works, but he is well on his way. Right now, he just wanted to meet with a nearby faction, which we are calling the Cabal of the Ebon Hand, after a faction for Magic the Gathering, because it's called the Ebon Cabal in the actual world, and the player was just like, hey, let's just call it the Cabal of the Ebon Hand, and I went along with it, because it sounded like a fun idea. They are a group of wizards, primarily necromancers, and he had set up a meeting with them for after they had gotten some things done. So, the leader of the Cabal of the Ebon Hand decided to meet with the Dwarven Samurai because he's a very clear up-and-comer in the lands, and it's the kind of thing where various different factions are wanting to get in good with him now before he becomes a full-on.
It's like a networking event.
Yeah, a networking event. Well, that's a good way of putting it. They talked with each other for a bit. He offered them a citadel in the town wherever they would like within reason, and in exchange for a few things. One thing that he negotiated was that pretty much all the members of the party wanted these little pet things that they had and made through necromancy that they all found to be cute. And she was like, yeah, that's no problem for us. We'll go along with that.
I need more information on...
I am going to get
pets.
you the image real quick. Give me a moment.
Meanwhile, we can get a Tom Starcraft update.
It just walks away.
Wait, what? You're saying something
Oh my god. Okay. All
I
right.
love it. That's my
Well,
favorite.
we tried.
I was also on mute for a while there.
No, you're never muted. Just visual covered up. Oh, good. That's good. That's great.
You did not hear StarCraft.
Oh, yeah.
So she provided them with those things because they were very easy for her to make, and, you know, why not? Before her and her...
Blood pets. I know blood
Yes.
pets.
blood pets from Magic the Gathering. One that looks like the toad there, and one that looks like the weird necrotic rat thing.
Now,
Or
I have to
like
tell
five
you,
that looks like those.
I would never, ever, ever have described blood pets as cute or cuddly.
I wouldn't either, but that's the way several of my players felt about them, so I was like, okay. Basically,
Alright,
whatever's
continue.
fun for them, because there's
Hey,
plenty
yeah,
of
go
times
for
in
it.
this campaign where I'm going to be making them scream. After that, they decided to get on with one of the things that one of the other PCs wants to do, which is kill his father, because his father is a really evil ancient worm red dragon known as a Chardalon. Unfortunately, in order to get to him, they had to invoke Tiamat for a little while.
Classic.
Surprisingly enough, she only smote one of the PCs, albeit twice. And then she sent them to the place where a Chardalon is, because she was one of the few people who actually can get them there. And actually, she's the only person because of chromatic dragons falling under her domain. And that's where we ended the session, my session for the night, because the player whose side quest this is was getting really tired and really annoyed, basically.
Hey man,
Like he,
you gotta kill a Chardalon. Sometimes you gotta fight through it.
well, he was also the one who showed up the latest this session. So, like, if he had just shown up at 4 when practically everyone else did, we would have had 2 more hours to do things that were related to the thing he specifically wanted to do. So it was all on him, basically, and I don't feel bad at all. So we then switched to the Lord of the Rings campaign, which I had not been there for the first session, but the Dungeon Master was telling me that he's really sad that I wasn't, because it would have been exactly my sort of thing. Now,
Did you call out the quote unquote Numenorian?
That is the player who left after the end of my campaign, because he has lost interest in the Lord of the Rings campaign.
Okay, because he made up a bullcrap character?
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. It was a really bad character concept for this specific setting. Okay, so...
Yeah,
Okay. So, I'm just gonna describe, like,
Well, for Raj's sake, we should...
the characters that I know are still in the campaign. There's one whose character I'm not sure on, because I've only been there one session, and his character wasn't very active this session. But, so... Oh wait, okay. No, I remember all of them now. So first, we have 2 dwarves, and they've established a secret language using their beards, which is basically Dwarven Sign Language. So, for example, this is F off, and they've got a few other things in mind, one of which is, like, screw him over, and, well, fuck him up, actually, but...
It doesn't sound like it's very secret if you know what it means.
Well, I know what it means, my character sure as heck doesn't. But anyway, the session started with my character just kind of aimlessly wandering along the road, and the rest of the party saw a couple of pinpoints of light in the darkness, which are my character's eyes, because I'm playing an ASMR. And it was an easy way for the DM to set up my character meeting theirs.
Sure.
And they led me away from the town, which has been infested by shadow creatures, and we're not actually sure if there are any actual townsfolk left at this point. My character, of course, thinking there are no actual townsfolk left at this point, offered the idea of, hey, maybe we just burn it all to the ground, since it's all completely evil, irredeemable creatures. But apparently this is a place that Radagast the Brown used to live in, so...
Radagast the Brown?
Don't want to destroy it because of historical value.
Really?
Especially our Hobbit wizard.
Did Radagast, like, sneeze and do something relevant that I forgot about, or...?
That is something that I probably should have asked about, but
Plus,
it was...
Isn't that kind of like saying, like, man, I really love that gazebo. Even though it's full of zombies, let's not just light it on... I mean, like,
Right.
that gazebo was first put there by the founder of the town, and I mean, like, at some point, I think you...
We're trying to figure out an alternative method for the moment, but my character is still thinking at some point that we're probably just going to have to burn this place to the ground.
Yeah. Who's the guy that's protesting? The Hobbit historian?
The Hobbit sorcerer, because technically, if you're immortal and you learn magic, you're a sorcerer, not a wizard. At least in...
Why is he
At
immortal?
least, no, not immortal.
Amortal.
Immortal,
He's
sorry. Sorry,
immortal.
Because wizards are specifically, like Gandalf and the two blue wizards and Saruman and Red.
Oh, those poor blue guys. Never even got names.
Never even got names.
I know.
The last...
What do you think they do all the time, the blue
Didn't they
guys?
just, like, wander off east or some shit?
They kind of just wandered off east and were never seen or heard from again.
I guess they didn't deserve names. Good job, guys.
You know what I meant, Matthew McConaughey. So, the last member of our party is a Dunedain Ranger. So, like, the group Aragorn was part of before he joined the Hobbits in the Fellowship. So, we are all actually on the same... At this point, we're all actually on the same side.
And what would a ranger know of
warlock.
this matter?
Where are you in relation to... Is
We
it like...
are far south of Gondor in a place called the Wildlands.
Is the ring still a thing, or...
The ring is not still a thing.
How many times?
We are past the ring being destroyed. The concept the Dungeon Master has is that basically Sauron's death scream temporarily opened up like a portal to the realm of shadow, and something got out that we have to deal with, or it's just going to bring a second darkness to the land.
That classic old chestnut. Death scream opening a rift to another dimension.
I like it.
How many times have you guys used the quote, "And you shall be the fellowship of the ring"? And then another one of you has to go, "Right, where are we going?" And then you all look at him and go, "Oh, Pippin."
How many?
I want to set the over-under at 8. 8 times that's happened?
Sadly, we only had a few hours to play, so we didn't get too deep into it. Our characters didn't have much time to get acquainted with each other before we just had to sort of continue on.
Okay.
But next session, we will probably actually sit down and discuss our character backgrounds and goals. Right now, we are in the town that is normally filled with creatures of shadow, but almost all of them have left right now, and we're just kind of dealing with the few stragglers and trying to figure things out about how we can maybe deal with them without just, kill everything with fire.
Real quick, if someone were to say, consistently reference the part in the movie where the orcs go, "What is it? What do you smell?" and then someone says man flesh. How many times could a person theoretically do that before getting asked to never come back and play D&D with you guys again?
Well, first I think you would have to be playing an orc, which the DM might actually allow.
Debatable, but go on.
Well, probably 4 or 5 times.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Especially if it's in the same session.
Okay. You would need a Confederate to really pull it off.
I would come with you. I would also play an orc.
Oh, God. I want to do this so badly.
So that's a really good idea.
There's so many good quotes in that movie.
But,
Wait, how did Justin... What happened?
Yeah, how did Justin...
Wait, hang on. I can fix it. I can fix it. Hang on.
What do you guys mean?
Real quick. Alright, we're good.
So, to finish off this D&D update, the two characters whose goals I actually know are, of course, my own and the Hobbit Wizards, the Hobbit Sorcerers.
Shouldn't everybody's goal be to stop the King Sauron's...
Well, we don't know about the creature yet. That's like the overarching plot line that we are getting into, but we don't exactly know the creature exists, other than the Hobbit. who apparently met it in a vision, and the creature just looked down at him and said, "You are interesting."
Huh.
Which was probably pretty terrifying. Because this is what the creature looks like. Give me a moment.
You're gonna have to use your...
There we go.
I still just... Or did you send it?
I've just about sent it. One moment.
This is hard.
Here we
Did I
go.
miss something?
Those are the pets that they have.
Oh, they have pets.
That's a cool,
Hang on.
That
little
thing?
monster guy.
That is called a Nightwalker.
That's
I do-
terrifying. Don't show that.
No, I'm doing it. Hang on.
Are we rated for that? We're gonna get.
We're gonna get... That's
This
rated
is
M
like
for
some.
mature,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah.
I got
Pretty,
guys.
pretty creepy.
I do gotta say, I am curious with the approach of the Dungeon Master to tell you all immediately just exactly what's going on. I feel like, and from a storytelling standpoint, it's a lot more effective if you leave people at least a little bit in, you know,
In the old dark.
Well, it does
Yeah.
help that almost... I don't think a single player at the table is a metagamer. We are really good about not using our out-of-game knowledge in-game.
but I'm talking from a storytelling perspective. It's
Oh,
like,
no. I
why would
completely
you tell them?
agree. I've got some things that I still have not told the players about my campaign just because I want it to hit
Right.
them the way it's supposed to.
Right.
Well, Valen,
Yes.
if you are someone like me, you don't like surprises.
Yeah, sure.
And that's really tailored.
And also, in his defense, I do get the point of just saying, hey, this is what the campaign is generally about. Are you interested in that sort of campaign? Because, like, it would suck to introduce you guys to, like an ogre battle style campaign, and then have it suddenly take a left turn into, these monsters are causing the apocalypse. You guys have to go stop them.
Yeah, but that's exactly what ogre... I mean,
That's
yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Well, that is exactly what ogre battle
I
ends
guess
up doing, but I mean, like, it starts off very mundane, and if it is kind of this. Sorry, I'm explaining myself poorly. I don't like taking people by surprise about what sort of campaign they're in for. So,
Well, right. That's, I mean, this is just personal preference, but that's why
Yeah.
I would leave it at Lord of the Rings campaign, and
Do you
which is fair.
do you battle ogres in ogre battle?
you
Actually, yes.
Cool.
do. Yeah, they're a big part of the whole idea.
So, to finish off the summary, the Hobbit Sorcerer is looking for Sting because he was told it was in the area, and of course that's a really cool
Yeah.
artifact for hobbits.
Yeah, it's in the museum. He donated it to the museum in Hobbiton, right? After the adventure,
That is
doesn't
probably what actually happened, but the DM is, taking a few liberties with things in order to
Sure, I know. I'm
just
being a-
do some
being a
fun things. And my character, their class is Paladin, and their goal is to basically bring honor and glory to their family and sort of like one of the great kings of men that they heard about while growing up, like Aragorn or Elendil. And since the Wildlands is mostly unsettled, and I heard stories of shadow creatures down there, my character decided, you know what, this sounds like a great opportunity. So that's where we're going.
Did they delve too greedily and too deep?
No, I am not a dwarf.
Oh, damn it. Nobody tosses a dwarf.
Hey,
So far, nobody has tossed a dwarf. It may
Okay.
yet happen, however, because we have two in the party.
Okay.
I think something's wrong with our layout on Twitch.
I think we're good. I think we're solid.
I feel like my portion of the stream has been seriously underplayed in the layout.
I'm not even seeing what you guys are talking about.
No, I think it's good. We're looking all right.
I mean, I trust you because you're my friends, but
Right. I mean, why would we ever steer you wrong?
seems skewed.
Must be something on your end. On that note, while we still have
Seems
13
like
minutes left.
80% smaller than everyone else, but whatever.
No, I don't know what you're talking. Anyway, enjoyable bad games. So games that were generally panned, or did not receive the most critical praise, but that you still enjoyed. I think is the point. Just this.
Well, my thought on this was like, what is the bare minimum a game has to do for you to still be willing to actually play it?
Oh, okay.
Like, what is a
do you
game
have
you would? Well, for one, that I would probably choose as a game that I will not replay anytime soon, but was enjoyable enough when I was playing it, was Dragon Ball Xenoverse, which was a Dragon Ball Z-based beat-em-up. It was enjoyable, but it's not something I plan on revisiting because it's the kind of thing that does get kind of old quickly, especially after you've actually beaten the story.
Mm.
My attempts to recapture the magic with Xenoverse 2 have not gone well.
I just want to confirm that chat sees nothing wrong with the layout. Also,
Yeah. Confirmed.
Does anyone else have an enjoyable bad game?
I think it either has to have like a compelling story. It's like one of those like I'll play a game that doesn't have like much gameplay to it if the story is interesting enough, I guess.
Sure.
Or it has to have like no story at all, but the gameplay is good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't have anything like just like kind of like almost like a Mario game basically, where the story is just like do something.
Or the first Gears of War.
Yeah. Although I didn't. I guess I did beat that game.
We did. We beat that together.
So my thoughts on it are the opposite of the critical response, probably.
I guess, yeah, we're kind of going the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I was very upset. It's like they just forgot to write a story, basically. Anyway.
Yeah, they eschewed that
Gears of War,
responsibility.
Gears of War.
Gow.
Have we, has anyone come up with... okay, I can think of two that I don't know about the critical response. I don't think they were very good games, but I played them a lot. Like Pilot Wings. I played Pilot Wings a lot, and there's like nothing there. You flew through some hoops.
The Super Nintendo one?
The one for N64.
Oh, N64. Okay, Super Nintendo one was at least like Mode 7's first like initial offering, so that was like noteworthy. But yeah, 64 probably. You're probably right. Although that was like. It was that and Super Mario 64. Those are the only two launch games, right?
Right, exactly. Those were the only two launch games. So that was... but there was nothing there. But I played it a lot because... Well, it wasn't exactly... Yeah, there were a lot of choices of what to play. So if I wanted to break up Mario 64, I flew through some hoops. You couldn't, I think, even crash the planes. Not like Satisfactory, fly into the ground and explode. So it was like the most tame game ever, but I played it a bunch. I don't know if this counts. Has anyone else played anything a bunch that they just never really, besides Tommy Tom and StarCraft 2, and just never get any.
Yes, many. Yes, many.
I feel like at least like initial popular reception, like Wind Waker would fall under that. Although that's like totally changed now.
Right. I mean,
like the amount of crap that got from people
Undeserved. Oh, it's just.
Oh yeah, totally ridiculous, but it was there. But
You're
because I played through that as soon as it came out and loved it, but
I loved it too.
lots of us.
Thought it was...
I assume all of us scholars here, saw it for the treasure that it was.
Island town. I spent so much time.
That expressive little Link face.
Maybe we could talk about. Actually, I'm probably the only one who does any of this stuff. But I was going to say maybe we could expand this to pointless things in games that you spend a bunch of time doing. Or maybe not pointless, but like the little extra pinecone searching.
Playing them.
Yeah,
I feel like that, Val, you've got probably the best examples of this.
Well, but also a good example that I can think of for you, Doc. From my perspective, I would not pursue the shiny Pokemon that you have.
I gotta get those YouTube hits, man. They're hot right now.
I really like getting people banned in Counter-Strike.
Yeah, that's a good use of time.
For some reason, I get more notifications about me getting like people banned in Rocket League than Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Like I can't remember the last time I got a notification about Counter-Strike. Well, I guess banned during the game is different than like getting a notification that they got banned like later on.
By the way, I am fresh out of prison.
Oh yeah, you're
let's see how quickly we can get you back in there.
Probably pretty fast.
Well,
I wonder what the longest one I can get. Will they give me a month?
No, it just keeps doing 7 days. It won't go longer than that unless it gets permaban. But as far as I know, unless you really, you've got to just blatantly use cheating software to even sniff a ban.
I don't know. I got to do some research, but it seems like the recidivism rate for Counter-Strike ban prison is very high.
Right. I like the use of recidivism right there.
Yeah, you don't think it's an effective rehabilitation measure?
I don't. I think there's better things we could be doing. Definitely like workforce programs. Keep people playing. Maybe some counseling. I don't know. Group counseling would help.
Group counseling would help me a bunch. Does anyone else, now that we're coming up on 6 minutes left, and I do want to get Raj's questions. Oh no. I'm going to have to BRB hanging out with
an
old friend.
I need a StarCraft 2 update.
Yeah, give us a StarCraft 2 update.
Alright, let me unmute him.
He's not muted. Is he muted?
He's muted on me. He's muted for me in the stream.
You're giving us StarCraft.
What am I up? I'm not doing too well right.
All right, that's part of the update.
That's it. All right.
Back to you, Doc.
Awesome.
And the
I do want to. I'm gonna think more about this topic and kind of go through. I feel like there's maybe like the Game Boy games I used to play might fit this more. There were. Well, I guess those are mostly Tetris and Pokemon.
I don't know. I don't know if this was a good game, but I used to play Kessen on PlayStation 2 a lot.
What's it called?
It's called Kessen.
Kessen?
Kessen with a K.
Kessen?
Yeah.
Can you? What is it?
Yeah, basically it's like a Japanese war strategy thing, and it's cool. It's cool. You'll have to take my word for it.
Okay.
We will take your word for it.
I'm willing to do that for you.
Okay.
I rented it a lot at Block.
Okay, there was one that I can't talk about the reviews, but it was for the Game Boy or Game Boy Advance, the James Bond game that I really liked, and I don't know anybody else who's ever heard of it or played it, so...
I hate that spy bastard.
I did play a lot of the Game Boy Color version of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, which probably wasn't the optimal version of that game, but
nope.
I can't imagine.
I put a fair amount of time into that one. So
I didn't like Paperboy at all, but I played that a lot.
I was so bad at Oh god, I was so awful at Paperboy.
So bad at Paperboy.
Oh man, I think I've got Paperboy 2. But yeah. Oh.
I did manage to beat Mario World that one time on Game Boy. I was quite happy with that.
All right.
Huh?
Speaking of Mario World, Can I get a Super Mario 64 update? I keep forgetting.
I was planning on streaming it today, but because you weren't really free any time earlier, and because I got so engrossed in Doki Doki Literature Club, I ended up not doing it.
Well, you next time text me and remind me, and I'll get out of whatever I'm doing.
Okay, I will keep that in mind.
I will abandon my family at the drop of a hat.
I am off Monday and Tuesday next week, so that will probably... One of those days will be the Super Mario 64 finish up.
Excellent.
I had a question. Who's seen How to Train Your Dragon?
I have seen both of them. They're actually very good movies, and I am really looking forward to the third one.
My son likes them a lot.
Like, they're one of the best DreamWorks movies out there. I think one of the only things that beats them is The Prince of Egypt, and you're never going to beat that.
Is Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs DreamWorks?
I don't know. I've heard very good things about it, but I've not seen it.
That one, so good.
Is that good?
Oh, it's so good.
Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
It is our Valen. It is your the humor is fantastic.
But I will say, being able to train your dragon is a much better skill.
It's a sweet skill, but making bacon rain from the sky, I would argue, kicks its ass. But
well, I don't want to spoil, but you know,
it goes well. Everything goes great. It's fine.
Okay.
Nothing bad happens. Bacon it just gets bigger. What's wrong with bigger?
So, to finish off this podcast, what are we planning on playing in between now and the next one? Tommy is obviously...
StarCraft!
Yeah, that.
Well, since J Money and his Counter-Strike ban is up, he's free. I'm gonna
definitely at least one game of Counter-Strike.
They've given him a cheap
Raj
suit.
has returned.
Nope,
Raj has returned. He may be our savior in this dark time.
It's too late, Raj.
You got like 2 minutes left. We're saving that question time specifically for you, bud. Do you have a question for the crew? And also,
I should play something this week.
Yeah, what are you gonna... You got time to at least... You have a little bit of time to tell us what you're gonna play.
Should I try to put the PlayStation 4 over here and do God of War?
I think you should try and finish up Undertale.
Finish up, Junkblade. Come on.
Fallon, do you see anyone around you that looks interesting you could just pull in as a special guest?
I would never, ever, ever do that.
What games and movies are we hyped for?
I'm now hyped for How to Train Your Dragon Race. Or Final Chapter, whatever it's called.
I want to see... I want to see Into the Spider-Verse. That's already out and happening, but I haven't seen it.
Hyped?
Captain Marvel looks good.
Does it?
Punching old lady's always good.
Junkblade, what you hyped for?
The Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles remaster. There was one other game that... Oh, Devil May Cry 5. I'm actually really looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, refer to our podcast previously about games we're hyped for. Episode number... God, I don't know.
I think 43. I think we literally just went over this last week.
No!
42.
Hang on.
Can I talk about what I'm hyped for?
Yes, talk about what you're hyped for, Fallon.
No, I meant last week. I don't remember.
You weren't on. I don't think you were on this episode.
Yeah.
So go ahead and hit us with that fresh, hot content.
I'm really... Guys, do you think Ross and Rachel are going to get together?
No. Why would they?
Well, I think we've expired our time.
Episode 42, everyone, for the old backlog.
I'd like to thank Raj for stopping by, staying with us the entire time.
Yes.
Agreed.
That's the rarest of all gems in our podcast.
And I'd like to thank Zane Kyber for coming back.
Love Zane Kyber. Yeah, Matthew Econachad.
And also host giveaway. Oh.
A lot of people think.
Yeah.
What about apricot root
All right. Well, we're going nowhere but up. Sky's the limit. Terminal velocity. We're reaching it. Okay. Everyone have a good night.
All right, play
Everyone
us
have
out.
a good night.